how much time you have. It's how you use it.
No more kings, no more queens, no more mageseekers. It all ends now.
My king. Long have you waited. Now, the time has come for your revenge. A heroine across all Runeterra. They will know fear, suffering, ruin. They will know your name.
After 15 years in darkness, I found hope. I had almost forgotten what it felt like to imagine a future outside of a cage. But hope is feeble. Hope will not break our chains, unspill our blood, or burn Demacia to the ground until its white walls are nothing but rubble and ash. Hope will not make them pay for what we've lost. I will.
I'm you. From the future. I'm here to investigate something in the past.
So Zahn is in trouble right now?
If you would just listen, we'll be keeping the city safe from a devastating future.
Well, if it isn't the boy who shattered time.
There is a war coming.
I don't know what happens in the future, but it's not up to you to fix the world all by yourself.
He's been coming back to the past over and over again, trying to fix something in our timeline.
We've all got him, Echo. The first fight you have to beat is with yourself.
This isn't over. Not yet.
I'm trying to save both of our cities from a disastrous fate.
flow state, a state of heightened mental flexibility that allows the subject to master the tempo.
Boring! Nobody's gonna play our game if you make it sound like homework. Piltover a show they'll never forget.
This will be our biggest adventure! Unknown north of the Freljord.
Find the heart of the blue, Nunu. Look for the winged mountain.
The Yeti and his boy are so close. That foolish hero. I'll deal with him. Then the Yeti will bring me its secrets.
At least my friend is a Yeti, the size of 3 Drubasks. Sorry, I was just checking the echo. This place is huge!
Yo, what's going on, everyone? What's up? What's up? So today is the first day of the Riot Forge Saga. I'm pretty excited actually because I love the Riot Forge games. I was really sad to see it go. I literally bought every single collector's edition. I played through all of these games multiple times, except for Hextech Mayhem. I'm not gonna lie, I played that one time, but I did play it. And I always felt like the Riot Forge games were they deserved a lot more love than they got at the end of it. But the reason I think for their closing, because I did get this question on Reddit, I want to answer it at the very beginning of the stream, and just in case they did join in, I told them that I would answer it first. Why did Riot Forge close? And I think this has a lot to do with the lore and the Riot MMO, because the lore kind of got away from them with Riot Forge. At the end of the day, these are indie studios. You don't have complete control over how they're going to manage the lore and how they're going to take things. And like Song of Nunu, for example, did honestly like a lot of damage to the Watcher's lore. I love Song of Nunu. It's my favorite title from the Riot Forge series. But in terms of the Watchers, like, I don't want to spoil anything crazy, but the Watchers were at the bottom of the Howling Abyss, which is all the way over here on the map, which I can just switch to this really quick. The Watchers who are over here at the bottom of the map, right? They're frozen at the bottom of the Howling Abyss. They're almost like they're the big bads of Runeterra. They're the worst of the worst. These are the biggest threat that we're gonna have to deal with in the Riot MMO eventually. Song of Nunu kind of babied them a bit. It's just like going down to the bottom of the Howling Abyss is supposed to be a really intense thing. Like, we have a short story, one of my favorite short stories, The Eye in the Abyss, where 3 Iceborn go down to the bottom of the Howling Abyss, and literally, like, not all of them come back. One comes back without an arm, and they feel like the eye pulling them the whole time. And it talks about it like it's patience, and it really gives you a good feel for the Watchers and just how scary they are. Like, you get scared. It's one of those stories, like, it's hard to get scared reading a book, but the Eye in the Abyss will kind of make you feel a little bit uneasy. And you lose that in Song of Nunu with the Watchers. So I think that's why Riot Forge got canceled. It's just because it was getting away from them with the lore, and you can't tell an indie studio. You can't tell an indie studio exactly what to do and how to do it. Like, at the end of the day, they're an indie studio. The whole point of Riot Forge was to give these studios creative freedom and let them create a game within the universe of Runeterra, not create a game and then freaking army drill sergeant them into how to build it, right? And so that's the real reason Riot Forge was canceled, in my opinion. And that's what makes sense to me, especially with the Riot MMO coming out. Lore became very important. And while some lore enthusiasts out there are willing to say, oh, this is canon and this isn't canon, it's not everyone's going to understand that. And especially the casual fan who's not going to watch a stream, who's not going to watch a YouTube video, who's literally just going to play the game. One day it's going to come out and show up on their Riot client and just install it. That person's never going to know that these games aren't, like, what game is canon and what game isn't, and what parts of the game are canon and what parts aren't. Like, at this point now, they've got Ruined King, which I consider soft canon, Song of Nunu, which they do say is canon, but I think they're going to renege on that and call it soft canon once the Riot MMO comes out, but that was more like for sales. Convergence to the alternate universe. Bandle Tale is very soft canon. Like, there's definitely canon stuff in there that you could say, oh, this is about Bandle City, but mostly it was, you know, a fun, like, playthrough kind of game. And Hextech Mayhem is definitely an alternate universe. So, now that we got that out of the way, there is a lot of lore in these games. Not everything is canon, but definitely certain pieces of our Ruined King has a ton of lore that is canon. Song of Nunu has a ton of lore that is canon. Convergence is still set in Zon, so we can definitely pick a couple things there. Mageseeker has a lot of lore in it, especially from the notes, which are canon. So it's not all doom and gloom here. They should retcon Sentinels of Light. They are gonna. Sentinels of Light. Man, Sentinels of Light. Look, that has to be us. When we start the Riot MMO, they're not going to start with Viego, because Sentinels of Light ends with Viego being imprisoned all the way over here, I mean, on the right side of the map, like in Camivore. You're not going to start with Viego and Camivore. Viego is going to start in the Shadow Isles, for sure. Camivore is going to come much later, and we have to feel Viego's impending doom eventually. Like, for him to be that far in the future, it's too much. Like, Viego's a very staple character for the universe. So they're going to renege on Sentinels of Light eventually. Yo, what up, Jan? Alright. Yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff like that that's eventually going to go. Oh, sorry. Wrong button. I'll get better with that, guys. Okay. Now, I do have this section over here. It's called the Lore Corner. The Lore Corner is where I'm going to go through a bunch of lore with you guys. There's going to be lore that we're going to touch on throughout the game, whether it's on the map or on the Riot Grove site, and I'll switch between those as we go. And we got to start a new profile. Ooh, the Ruined King. Man, I freaking love the Ruined King. I'm going to go normal because I don't want to embarrass myself, but if anyone else comes in post this moment, I'm on heroic. Begin a new normal difficulty, yeah.
Monsters are real. When I was a girl, my mother was murdered by a low-life coward named Gangplank. He shot me and left me for dead. There was no trial. In Bilgewater, he was the law. I hunted him. I killed his men. I watched Gangplank die, washed away on the burning tide. But there are still monsters about. For centuries, the Buru people have protected these islands from the worst of them. But even they fear the Harrowings. Attacks in the form of a lethal black mist, courtesy of our unliving neighbors on the Shadow Isles. Each time, the Harrowings return stronger, while the Buru grow distant. How long can we rely on prayers and magic? My monsters are flesh and blood. They don't frighten me. Only one thing does. Becoming one of them.
So that's a pretty loaded statement at the end. That scene, that whole video does a really good job of explaining Miss Fortune's backstory. But it doesn't really explain to you how she got her name. It doesn't explain to you really why she ended up where she is. It doesn't really explain Gangplank and the history that they had. And so we're going to go through a little bit of her lore that I think really helps you appreciate Miss Fortune in Rune King more. But I think there's another little cinematic right after this loads. But it's right over here. We're going to touch on it. Pre-game lore, the tragic backstory of Miss Fortune, a story of vengeance. Because, if only there was one place where you can read a whole article on just the pre-game lore for Miss Fortune. A nice short read. Look how beautiful this game is.
It's almost quiet from up here. If only I didn't know better.
This guy's actually in her backstory.
Good morning, Captain. Your guest has arrived.
Raffen, remember when we could just take what we wanted, go where we wanted? We didn't have a care in the world. Now look at us. Taking appointments, attempting diplomacy.
Well, at least our line of diplomacy still involves guns.
That may be true, but when he was Reaver King, Gangplank only used guns. If I unite the gangs with violence, will the city still think of me as a savior?
Gangplank was a tyrant, Sarah. You're tough, but you aren't cruel. I'm proud to be your first mate, and the rest of the crew is proud to call you our captain. The gangs will follow you. It's only a matter of time.
They can't follow me if they're dead. Hopefully I can change their minds before they're all wiped out.
Some dogs won't obey until you show them the stick.
Well then, let's not keep Captain Thorn waiting any longer.
Okay. So I think this is the right time to do it. Yeah, follow Raffen. Okay. So let's go through a little bit of Miss Fortune's story. You actually see Raffen, that character that just came up to her, in a cinematic prior to this. So the story of Miss Fortune, from revenge to ruin. So she's obviously, if you guys don't realize it yet, we're in Bilgewater. Miss Fortune's from Bilgewater. Not the city though. An uncrowned queen. Before the events of Rune King, a Legion's story, Sarah Fortune cemented her legend in blood and gunpowder. Known throughout the Toucher's port city of Bilgewater as a fearsome bounty hunter, Miss Fortune, she is the city's unofficial ruler. Her entire life was forged by a singular burning purpose, avenging the slaughter of her family by a former Reaver King, Gangplank. Though she was claimed her revenge, she now carries the immense weight of protecting the very city she plunged into chaos. So that's the start of Rune King. That's where we're beginning. That's some art of Miss Fortune. The bloody beginning. Sarah Fortune's story begins not in the grim docks of Bilgewater, but on the quiet island settlement where her mother, Abigail Fortune, was celebrated as a master gunsmith. Sarah spent her youth in the forge, learning from the best. Her mother's unparalleled skill attracted a commission from a ruthless and ambitious pirate captain named Gangplank, who demanded a pair of pistols unlike no other. The result was 2 masterpieces. However, Abigail saw the brutish thug Gangplank had become and deemed him unworthy of her craft. Her refusal cost everything. As her official biography recounts, the consequences were swift and brutal. Enraged, he seized the pistols and gunned her down with her own creations, before turning them on her husband and young Sarah, too. Gangplank left Sarah for dead, burning the workshop and shattering the pistols to erase any trace of the Fortune name. Yet Sarah survived. She emerged from the ashes, clinging to the ruined remnants of her mother's guns, and vow of vengeance that would define her life. After rebuilding the pistols, she set a course for Bilgewater to hunt the man who destroyed her world. She becomes a bounty hunter first. Obviously, she doesn't start as freaking running Bilgewater. Arriving in Bilgewater, Sarah adopted the persona of Miss Fortune to mask her identity from query. She built a reputation as the city's most efficient and ruthless bounty hunter. methodically dismantling Gangplank's criminal empire piece by piece. For years she hunted his lieutenants and allies, building her own loyal crew in the process. The short story Down Among the Dead Men showcases her cold resolve as she confronts one of Gangplank's key men, Jack Ziglos. It's not the money that got you killed. It's the fact that you're one of Gangplank's sworn men, said Miss Fortune. That's why I want you dead. Dead? Wait, the warrant says alive. True, but I've never been very good at following instructions, said Miss Fortune, releasing the rope and the breathing tube. So one thing that's really interesting is that her name is Miss Fortune, right? That's because their last name is Fortune. She's Sarah Fortune. And a lot of people in Bilgewater often say, like, those who have the misfortune of meeting her. I thought that was kind of clever. The fall of the Reaver King. Miss Fortune's intricate plan for revenge reached an explosive climax during the events of the Burning Tides. All this was lore already present before we enter Rune King. The Burning Tides and all this stuff, so the Rune King really stayed true to a lot of the lore that already existed. She orchestrated a complex series of events to lure Gangplank to his flagship, the Deadpool, which you just saw, into the perfect position. Then, in a sudden display of firepower, she obliterated the ship in front of the entire city. Her biography captures the finality of the moment. Best of all, everyone in Bilgewater saw him fall. It was everything Sarah could have hoped for, exactly as she'd planned, and it was over in moments. Though she believed him dead, Gangplank survived the blast, albeit losing an arm. In the chaotic power vacuum that followed, his apparent demise, rival captains tore the city apart. Miss Fortune, seeing the city she had liberated now destroying itself, reluctantly stepped into the role of leader, brokering a fragile peace and claiming the title of Bilgewater's new authority. So that's really why Miss Fortune becomes captain of a leader of Bilgewater. It's not because, like, out of power or hunger, she didn't want to really replace Gangplank. It was really just about killing Gangplank. But after Gangplank dies, the whole city turns into chaos. And so she kind of takes over the leadership. You can watch this if you want, Miss Fortune's Surrender, if you click on the article. It's a pretty good cinematic. Ruling Bilgewater was far from a bloodier task than seizing it. Dead men in the water. Dead in the water, Miss Fortune must navigate the treacherous politics of the pirates' lords. Attending a funeral for a rival captain. To assert her dominance, she walks into a deadly trap. Surviving the ambush, she eliminates the conspirators and further solidifies her control over the city's warring factions. This bloody affair also led her to the first chilling encounter with the colossal underdiver, Nautilus, a grim omen of the darker threats lurking beneath the waves. Now, you can see her in the climb a little bit. I always felt like this one may have been from that scene, but they replaced Nautilus with Negacaburos. Truth is, it's just a really cool scene. I don't know if it has any actual relevance to the lore. If you replace that with Nautilus, then it makes a lot more sense. But Negacaburos definitely looked a lot cooler. Maybe Negacaburos saved Miss Fortune. She had no idea, if that's canon. The harrowing. So you already saw a little bit of the harrowing. She says, everyone's afraid of the harrowings in Bilgewater. That's because freaking Bilgewater, guys, is right next to the Shadow Isles. Here's the Shadow Isles over here on the right, which is where the Black Mist is. And we're going to learn about Viego a lot in this game. Bilgewater's right over here. I assume that Ishtal probably gets hit with some harrowings, but Ishtal's kind of an unknowable jungle that we can't reach. If you go in there, you'll get killed. So who knows? Nothing in the lore states anything about Ishtal. It's mostly Bilgewater. Yeah, Miss Fortune's leadership was put to the greatest test in Shadow and Fortune, so this already happened prior to this. When the spectral black mist of the Shadow Isles known as the Harrowing engulfed Bilgewater, while others fled or hid, Miss Fortune stood her ground, determined to prove she was a leader who would fight for her people. She led her crew into the ghastly fog to face the dead head-on. In the ensuing battle, she formed an unlikely alliance with the undead hunter Lucian and the berserker Olaf. They eventually found sanctuary in the temple of the Buhru goddess Negacaburos, protected by the Kraken priestess, Alawi. Together they made a final stand, and with Alawi's divine aid, they pushed back the Black Mist and saved the city. Keep that event in mind. The event left Misfortune with a stark warning from Malawi and the lingering threat of gangplank. You let a razor eel off the hook and you ought to stamp on its neck and walk away before it sinks its fangs into you. Then your motion will be gone forever. That's from Malawi. This confrontation with the supernatural horrors of the Shadow Isles was a crucible for Misfortune, having achieved her vengeance, secured her rule, and defended her city from an overwhelming invasion. Otherworldly invasion. She emerged as a battle-hardened captain, unknowingly prepared for the new wave of darkness that would soon arrive with the Ruined King. And then here we have Ruined King and then Captain Fortune's login screen and her theme. One video that I did not include, which I'm going to add after this stream, is, what is it? Bilgewater cinematic. This cinematic, you can actually see Wrath. So let me mute this really quick. You can see her save Wrath. If you guys want to watch the whole thing, let me know, but I might just skip around. But basically, she's made a deal with this Sea Witch to trade 2 people for 1, because the Sea Witch has 1 person that she likes, which is Wrath. And she chooses Twisted Fate and Graves. So she has Twisted Fate now, which lowers Graves in. And the goal is to trap them both. They get into a firefight. She kind of lures them into this trap upstairs. Where is it? Right here. She lures them into a trap upstairs, traps them. Oh, you guys can't hear. My bad. You got to do this. There we go. Oh, still not working. Why not? Well, jeez. I don't know why that's not working. It's supposed to work. Where's this wavelength stream? 1 sec. There we go. Okay, well, that's Rev.
You're lucky I like you.
These 2 will make a worthy sacrifice to the beasts below. Prepare yourselves for 1,000 years of suffering.
Hold on a second. 1,000 years? Talk this out, right?
This is definitely going to be a raid boss, by the way. They need to reuse these characters. This witch needs to appear in the Riot MMO. I want to know her name, and I want to have to deal with her once we go in the... There's going to be an expansion for sure with the Swimming City, if you know about that, and Pike, and these sea monsters are way smarter than we believe. And some of them are good, and some of them are bad. And then but this is obviously their last time she saves them.
Don't worry, this isn't your last hand.
There's the image of Nagakaburos on that crate.
Looks like the tides of Bilgewater have shifted again, my friend.
Yeah, and they make it out. So that's where we're at with Misfortune. Now, let's get into the game a little bit. All right, yeah, I remember this. You scan, interact with stuff. You can find like notes and everything. Make sure we don't miss any of the notes. Because I know there's like the journal, which has really interesting lore, especially when it comes to like there's a family that comes up really soon. So yeah, that was Raph in that cinematic. There he is. Nothing to report, Captain. See, this doesn't really explain, like, he just walks in and starts shooting. Now you know. Yeah, like now you know. Okay, she was Gangplank hired her mom to create the pistols, right? So we think. Or so we think. So yeah, now you actually know the lore, guys. Now you know that, okay, Gangplank hired Abigail Fortune to create these pistols. Abigail Fortune had to change her heart and felt like Gangplank was becoming a thug, so didn't want to sell him the pistols. He took the pistols and shot her with them because of that. And then, and her dad, which you don't see in that cinematic. And literally leaves the misfortune young girl to burn alive. So, Gangplank, guys. I don't think there were any, some men don't want fair and nice. They liked Gangplank's way. In the years Gangplank's been gone, my people have been getting rich. Long may the new queen reign. In Noxus, we would throw Gangplank into the arena. Would have been more fun. That's true. So there's the Noxian. Bilgewater is honestly like a melting pot. Folks fear the black mist, but me, I think it keeps life interesting. That's definitely a lie to yourself and everyone. There's that one cinematic with the black mist, that old guy in like the cart with the puppets. It's so good. Oh my gosh, you guys can't hear. Sorry, guys. You gotta tell me.
You've considered my offer.
Offer? Hand over my operations to you, my fleet, and all of my men, or else? Misfortune. You may have killed Gangplank, stolen his fancy mana, but that don't make you my queen.
Captain Thorn has one of the coolest models in game. One of the coolest, in my opinion. Like his art, everything was awesome. Look how cool he looks.
It looks like Bilgewater is still up for grabs. Now give it up, girl.
He's got better art than Misfortune.
You know I'd hate to ruin that pretty face.
So much for diplomacy.
Better than Raph.
You know, Raffen? I
Look
think
at the
I'm
detail.
starting to enjoy it.
And he's cooked. He ends up being cooked right here. And yet he has one of the coolest models. I think he maybe has a little bit more time, but combat basics, yeah, I mean, I know this stuff. The combat I thought was really cool in Rune King. So maybe I should have read this for you guys, but when it's your fighter's turn, you can perform one of the many combat abilities. There's instant abilities which do not cost mana, are performed immediately after confirming a target. Lane abilities cost mana and require time to cast. Pay attention to the fighter's turn order when selecting abilities, because you can kind of move around on the bottom bar. Complete this wave of combat by defeating all the enemies. So this is how it works. You have instant, and you have lane abilities. So if I click a lane ability, I can move into the power lane, which does more damage. I can move into the speed lane, which is faster but does less damage, or I can stay in the normal lane. And you can see it changes the order. So if I go into the speed lane, I can do another normal, I get my turn again before even one of these guys gets another turn. But it costs like 20 of this mana, my energy, even this one. But, I mean, you only replenish mana when you go to like a firing pit, so you don't want to use it all the time. So I can generate 10 overcharge, which is 10 additional mana when I shoot this. Now you can see I have 10 on the bottom left, and I can use that, but I have to use it this fight. So we'll generate one more. Now I've got 20. And now that I have 20, I can go to my lane abilities. This one deals 69 damage to the target, 69 damage to a nearby target. If the first target is tapped, target is defeated, the second shot will deal additional 34 damage. So that's perfect for this if I crit. So I don't think it's actually going to kill this guy. Yeah. We don't have a build yet, but critting with misfortune is really important. I want to do this. So I can do a speed lane, deal 124. Applies tap. So they're tapped right now. I guess I could do that. Yeah. So 199 because it was tapped. Okay, here he is, Captain Thorn. One of the coolest models in the game, by the way. He looks really cool. I like his art and everything. Generate archetype performing certain abilities. So they're telling you about what I just told you. Really what I want to do here is the same thing again. And then we'll do the 199 damage, because he's tapped. You can see, like, with 3 champions, this becomes, you know... Well, see if I push a normal ability here, if I just do normal, I'll shoot after him. So I want to do a speed lane. Because I do enough damage even in the speed lane to kill him, but I'll go first. And we get some loot. That's how the fights work in this game. Look at this. Look how cool his model is.
The Syndicate will never follow you. You hear me, tyrant? I'll die first.
I see. How about you boys? Does your captain speak for you all? Well then, Captain Thorn. I'd say this meeting is adjourned.
How cool was his art? How cool was his model? God.
Welcome to my crew. Prove yourselves loyal and you'll be rewarded. Betray me, or even whisper the name Gangplank, and I'll stuff you in a box with your former captain. Understood?
Yes, Captain. Another successful recruitment. Minus a few stubborn holdouts, the Syndicate's with us now. Their ships, their guns.
But none of their leaders.
Not yet.
Even if I have to put a bullet in every captain from the shipyards to the slaughter docks, I will make them understand. Bilgewater belongs to Sarah Fortune.
Yeah, I always felt like he had such a cool model for being gone so quickly.
Rathan?
The Black Mist. Beware the enemy has a buff called Primed Mist Bomb that will detonate and hurt your party upon death unless it is first disarmed with a speed lane ability. So you just have to select a speed lane ability, which I showed you in the first battle, before you kill them. So if we do this, one of those. Then we can do the lane ability. There we go. How did that hurt me? Maybe I have to do a speed lane ability like before she died. I can't use a speed lane ability and kill her at the same time, or I think that might have been just a... I don't know why I got hurt there at the end.
The black mist. How is this possible?
Okay. So the black mist that's coming from the Shadow Isles. And the Shadow Isles black mist that allows the specters from the Shadow Isles to journey beyond the Shadow Isles. No rest for the weary. I don't think there's anything else in here. I think something is wrong with your mic. Really? Is there? Let me hear it. Let me listen back. Hold on. Test. Test. 1, 2. Sounds fine to me on this side, but let me listen to on the stream, I guess. Maybe it's like when it's going through, maybe it has to do with, what's it called? Let me see. Test, test, 1, 2, 3. I don't know, it sounds fine to me. Yeah, I'm hearing it. It sounds fine. I don't know. Well, what'd you hear? Raph. Oh, is it not? Okay, no, we're good. You have entered a combat encounter while standing in a hazard called Poison Mist. This has created a hazard initiation bar region that will travel along with the fighter portraits. Fighters in your party that are inside the region will be targeted. Once the region reaches the front of the bar, it will apply its effect to any of your fighters that are currently targeted. Luckily, you can use lane ability to switch lanes and maneuver in and out of the initiative bar region. Take control of your fighter placement on the initiative bar and take control of the battle. So you can see that red square on the bottom. You just gotta avoid that. So you can see I can use this instant ability. It won't put me in there. What is it on this lady? You have to use a speed lane ability on her. Okay. Oh, see, but now I'm gonna use a speed lane ability, but I'll get stuck in there. Oh, that works. Yeah, that's right. There we go. I'm not in there. I still got hit with the bomb, but I'm using a speed limit. I think you have to use it and not kill her. That's really hard this early in the game. She's so weak. Oh. I don't know if I should have done that. I think I'm gonna get stuck in it. I'm not paying attention. Oh no, okay. Whatever, we'll just kill with this. Yeah, Jen, let me know what you were hearing with the mic. It sounded fine to me. Dead already, damn it. That's not Ref, actually. Is that accuracy? Look at that. Now I think we can read stuff up on these guys, so I want to read. I think there's like character bio type things that you can read up in the. I think it's the bestiary in this game. You can select a healing potion with the potion bag to recover health. Combat will end in defeat if your entire party's health reaches 0. Manage your health wisely. I forgot. Oh yeah, it's this button. But I mean, I'm not going to do that now. There's no need. Alright, let me see this. Oh no, it's here, I think. Did you view the tutorial on how to use this menu? No, I'm fine. Where is it? No. Forgot to get to like the... That's... Quest log. Where's like the bestiary and stuff? I remember that in this game. Maybe it doesn't show up yet. That's the potions. That's that. I don't... Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Quest log, region map. No. But it's a pretty cool map of the Shadow Isles and Bilgewater, although they look way closer than they are. Like, that's really close. Maybe it doesn't show up yet, when it comes up. I'm not even supposed to be here today. So we gotta lure this guy out of this mist. Oh, okay, here, just run into it. That works too. Yep, yeah. While in inspect mode, you can navigate between the initiative bar and the fighting bar to get details, abilities, and active buffs. Be sure to inspect enemies, yeah. So, but see, like, where's the, maybe now it'll start showing up the, so this guy has a spectral howl, it's a spectral wharf rat, which I thought was really funny. The wharf rats are common in Bilgewater, and so it seems like it's not just people that will be entering like the harrowing, because those aren't native to the Blessed Isle, so they weren't there when the harrowing occurred. They're from Bilgewater. So even animals that die become part of the Black Mist, right? They go back to the Shadow Isles down there, and they go back to the Shadow Isles down here and are become a part of the harrowing, because when the harrowing recedes, it takes all the spirits back with it. Now what's interesting is that, okay, if wharf rats can become part of the harrowing, you better believe sea monsters can as well. Is it just me, or does your voice sound glitchy in your stream? Derizo, why does everyone keep saying that? But then I hear it fine. Maybe it's on YouTube, but like when I went to my stream, it sounded good. Man, that sucks. Freaking nothing easy. Let's see. Oh, it does here. Man, that sucks. That's so annoying. Why does my voice sound glitchy? Oh, it happens very rare. Yeah, I hear it. Oh, what is going on? Maybe I'll unplug. Let's try. Alright. Let's see if that fixed it. Test 1 2 3. Test. Sounds fine now. Hopefully that worked. Okay. Hopefully that worked. I don't know why that was happening. That's really annoying. But yeah, what I was saying was that a wharf rat being freaking in the Black Mist, that means that they were able to be part of the harrowing. They were taken back to the Shadow Isles and become spectral spirits. That is telling, because that means that it's not just people that can be harrowed, right? Animals can as well. And that ties into my theory that sea monsters are having trouble with the Black Mist as well. And there's the Sorrowful Wisp, which deals light magic damage. Okay. Oh, but that is when Undeath has like something, right? All non-speed lane attacks have 50% chance to miss. Dispelled when hit with a speed lane. So you have to hit with that one with a speed lane attack. And this one, Undeath, increased attack power of all allies by 25%. So you want to kill the Spectral Wharf Rat first and then the Sorrowful Mist. And you want to hit the Spectral Wharf Rat with a speed lane ability first. There, dispelled. I gotta keep checking my mic. I don't know why that happened. Yeah, thanks for letting me know though, Dorizo. Will that kill? I don't think that's gonna kill, but what are you gonna do? Next shot will kill. Alright, now we can kill this guy. Let me check the mic again really quick. See if it's happening again. Just real quick. Test, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I forgot to switch scenes. Sorry. I'll get better at that. Okay. I don't... Well, good thing I checked that, but I don't know. I mean, it sounds fine, but I feel like it was very intermittent. Thank you so much, Captain. I was a goner for sure. Captain, where's Raffin? He was just here. He can't have gone far. Was there anything in here? You know what this reminds me of? Walking around and grabbing everything? The Witcher. I don't know if you guys ever played that game. Thank God for the Captain I thought I was gone for. The Witcher is one of those games you have to run around and just grab everything.
Raffin, what happened?
Run! Leave me.
The Wharf Rats are telling, guys. I'm telling you. The Wharf Rats are a big deal. The fact that they were able to join the heroine. Alright, these guys need a speed lane ability. So, I think we'll hit them one time with this. Actually, will that get us out of it though? Maybe I'll just do this really quick. I think that'll hit them both. Yeah, dispel them both. There we go. Actually, I see I can kill this guy before he goes again. Yeah. By the way, you can see if they're tapped or not in the bottom right. You see under his 6, it just went away. It had like a little gun. That's how you can see. That always confused me because they never... Maybe I'm not good at reading directions, but I was never able to understand that in the game on my first playthrough of how to see if they're tapped or not. Or like how to see if they have the effect that you're looking for. So I always had to like go back and read abilities to see if I used it and speculate. But you can see it underneath their health.
Sarah, I came out of nowhere. couldn't.
Don't talk. Save your strength.
I thought we'd beat those things in Grey Harbor. Could it be another harrowing?
I don't know.
See?
But if it is,
Another harrowing.
we're going to need Alawi.
Yeah, so the story that I was explaining to you before about the first harrowing, that already happened at this point. The slaughter docks. The slaughter docks. One of the most important places in Bilgewater for sure. So if we go here to the slaughter docks, there's actually a little card that reads about it. And it is, where is it? The slaughter docks. Sea monsters attack are a constant threat around Bilgewater, but over the years, myriad lucrative industries have grown out of hunting and harvesting the massive creatures. Vessels haul them back to port to be rendered down into meat, oils, hides, armored scales, even bones and teeth, for sale at the thriving dockside markets.
A new enemy has risen in Bilgewater. The goddess Nagakaboros has shown him to me.
Reveal him to us, truth-bearer.
This Blood Harbor Ripper butchers men in their homes and in the streets. I can sense the fear, the stagnation he brings. We honor the Mother Serpent by restoring motion and driving him out.
Praise the goddess.
Truth-bearer, I wish to fight for you. I am ready.
Are you? If you fight with everything you have, the Mother Serpent may name you worthy. If not, she will take your life.
I surrender to her will.
Unworthy.
He is strong, priestess. He may live.
Perhaps, if the goddess wills it. Come, our enemy awaits.
Yeah, so that was a bit cold, you know? The guy was like, I'm ready to be tested. And she's just like, yeah, well, leave him to the Mother Serpent's fate.
These streets are full of motion. Nagakaboros smiles upon us.
Why do you embrace this foreigner's priestess? The Pelangi do not respect the goddess or brew tradition.
They make their own way. They fight to live. Walk among them, learn from them, maybe even have some fun.
They have many interesting desires.
Sister, I have seen you indulge in their taverns. Do not be ashamed. Next time I will join you. Now let us follow the rhythms of the street.
So that was really important, what we just saw with the Nagakaburos and the Buhru people, and I'll get into that.
The men inside spoke recently of the killer we seek.
We will wait outside. No need to get Pelangi stink on us.
More for me then.
Alawi's powerful physique is dwarfed only by her indomitable faith. As the priestess of the Great Kraken, she uses a huge golden idol to draw power from the spirits of her enemies, while restoring and protecting her allies. All who challenge the truth bearer of Nagakaburos soon discover that Alawi never battles alone. The god of the Serpent Isles fights by her side. Now, I want to say this about Nagakaburos. Nagakaburos is definitely like a sea monster type being, right? So you can see this is a Buhru temple, which is pretty cool. And then there's this image towards the Serpent Isles, which are... There's the Serpent Isles, and Bilgewater is a city, but the Serpent Isles like existed prior to it. So if you look right here, this is the Serpent Isles. This is where the Buhru people are. And it's not like it's separate from Bilgewater itself. Bilgewater Bay, that's where you have like Misfortune, Graves, Twisted Fate. This is monster hunting. This is where sea monsters, right? You can see Nekaburos down there. It's just an icon. There's some war frats. But that's the Serpentiles, separate from... It's not... the Buhru people were there before even the Palangis, which they call them, which are like outsiders, came to these islands. While much of Valoran knows the archipelago as the Blue Flame Isles, to the indigenous people of the Buhru, they have only ever been the Serpentiles. Buhru's ancient culture is highly respected, reflected, and sometimes imitated in the daily lives of Bilgewater, including traditional medicine and monster hunting techniques. And so you could see they have like those horns, those kind of keep the monsters away from Bilgewater, the sea monsters. Nayakaburos, central to the Buhru's culture, is Nayakaburos, god of life, growth, and perpetual motion, also known as the Mother Serpent, the Great Kraken, or the Bearded Lady. She is commonly depicted as an enormous monstrous head with many spiraling tentacles. I will say this about Nayakaburos. I think the sea monsters probably have like two groups. Nayakaburos is very powerful. She's like a spirit god of the sea monsters. You know how we have spirit gods on our side? You have Volibear and Orn. Those are spirit gods, and they exist on land. Nayakaburos would be like a sea monster version of that, from the spirit realm with the spirit. She's a spirit god, but of the sea monsters. And I think that she leans a little bit more towards the humans and the Buhru, because after all, spirits become more powerful the more they're remembered. And the Buhru people worship Nayakaburos, and so she has become very powerful from that. So she definitely likes people more than the sea monsters do. Right? The sea monsters, in my opinion, are much smarter than a lot of people are led them out to believe, and they have their own like family units and whatnot. And then here we are, the slaughter docks, the carving bays, freaking stringing them up and skinning them alive. Imagine if it was opposite, like humans living underwater and sea monsters are on land, but they're just monsters. And these monsters on land would go around into the ocean, grab people from your group, take them to these slaughter docks, hang them up, skin them alive, sell their teeth, sell their bones, and just basically imagine that's human instead of a fish. That's all I'm saying. And if they're smart enough to have like family units and whatnot, this is a very bad thing. But I think some of the sea monsters choose to fight back, and other ones like Nayakaburos, who she has her own kind of reasons for doing it because the Buhru people worship her and we've established that she's a spirit god, kind of don't agree with them as much. Like she's more, let's leave them to their fate and not do anything about it, but stay away from them kind of thing. But the sea monsters and Pike have a lot of story coming up. I'm deciding if I want to read through. I did create an article for the lore of the Kraken Priestess who rebuilt Gangplank. We might read through this a little bit. Let's go through it a little bit. Alawi, the truth-bearer of Nayakaburos, the Kraken god, worshipped in the Serpent Isles, a woman of imposing physical strength and unshakable faith. She acts as the direct will of her god, testing the worthy and protecting the living from the scourge of the undead. Though she is native to the holy island of Buhru, she has chosen to make her home in the chaotic port of Bilgewater, where she serves as a spiritual anchor and a formidable guardian against the encroaching darkness. And she even said, Nayakaburos likes Bilgewater. She likes the motion. Alawi's life is dedicated to serving her god Nayakaburos, also known as the Great Kraken or the Bearded Lady. Her religion is central to her identity and actions. As her official biography explains, her faith is built on 3 core tenets. Every spirit was born to serve the universe. Desire was built into every living being by the universe, and the universe only moves towards its destiny when living creatures chase their desires. As a truth-bearer, Alawi has 2 primary duties. First, she is the spearhead of the war against undeath, directly confronting the spirits of the Harrowing and the Black Mist, which she views as abominations against the natural flow of life. So Alawi is very much just a servant of Nayakaburos and follows really Nayakaburos' will and what Nayakaburos wants. And so if Alawi doesn't like and views them as abominations against the natural flow of life, I definitely think that Nayakaburos doesn't like them very much either. Her second duty is to administer the test of Nayakaburos, which we just saw, using her massive golden idol, the Eye of God. She rips the spirit from the person's body and forces them to confront their own truth and will to live. Those who fail are destroyed, but those who succeed find the strength to pursue their true destiny. Let's see some Bilgewater. There's a story, The King's Broken Heart, where Alawi shares a deep and complicated history with Gangplank. They were once lovers, but Alawi ended their relationship, choosing her devotion to her god over a life with him. In her color story, The Burden, a broken and defeated Gangplank seeks her help after misfortune destroys his ship and usurps his power. Instead of offering sympathy, Alawi sees that he has become a stagnant, trapped by his past and his desire for control. That's because Gangplank only really wants to rule Bilgewater. That's like his whole goal. Believing he must be tested, she subjects him to the trial of Nagakaburos. He is nearly destroyed, but ultimately finds the will to survive and reclaim his purpose. This happens. That's the lore in Rune King stays true to this. He screamed as his soul was ripped from his body. His doppelganger stood unmoved before Alawi, the spirit of Gangplank smoldering in almost blinding blue, its body crackling and flickering through the previous lives. Bloody and exhausted, he finally stood in front of Alawi, his eyes bulging with hate and pain, but full of purpose. With his final ounce of strength, he walked into the glowing visage of his spirit. I will be king. Having helped him find his motion again, Alawi instructs her followers to support his bid to retake Bilgewater, believing he is still the leader the city needs. So that's why, I mean, if Nagakaburos agrees with him, she just goes with it. Alawi doesn't even think twice, even though Misfortune is like her buddy. She kind of just says, hey, if Nagakaburos wants Gangplank to live, then he must have a purpose, and she supports him. Alawi's role, we talked about that she protects them from becoming her protector is paramount during the events of the Shadow of Fortune, which is that first harrowing that Misfortune talked about. Recognizing the signs of the approaching black mist, she confronts Misfortune at a funeral, offering a cryptic warning and a token of her goddess. You're not wrong, she said with a slow nod, but you still don't hear. You let a razor eel off the hook, and you ought to stomp on its neck and walk away before it sinks its fangs into you. Then your emotion will be gone forever. This is an awesome image of the black mist and the harrowing coming into Bilgewater. When the harrowing descends, Alawi's front and center, really leading the charge at defending Bilgewater from it. Her journey alliance in Rune King will further explore this role of spiritual leader and the powerful warrior against the forces of undeath. And I just wanted to point this out, that, let me play this. So in 2XKO,
life is motion, not peace.
See Alawi, but who's her partner? Everyone kind of gets a partner, right? We just saw Blitzcrank is a new champion. He recently partnered with Echo. I think is it in this cinematic? It might be another one. Alawi, they often partner with Braum. But I do want to show her ultimate. Alawi, they often partner with Braum, and that's because of literally Rune King. This is her ultimate.
Test of spirit sends her opponent's soul to the depths, where they'll come face to face with Nagakaburos. We love the idea of Alawi smacking the spirit out of her opponent and beating it up as an homage to her Kitten League. Test of Spirit is a mid-range move with...
See that? She literally says, send their spirit to be tested by Nagakaburos, so pretty cool. And now we're entering... You can actually do the Trial of the Kraken Priestess if you guys want. This is actually something that you can do. You can do it right now. If you click that link, that takes you to the Trial of the Kraken. That's a really long link, jeez. But yeah, that's how you can get to like the Trial of the Kraken. It's like an interactive thing. It's pretty cool. So yeah, you can actually do that right now. And now we enter the Ruined King. All right. Alawi's Buhru upbringing allows her to read and understand the Buhru glyphs. Her dungeon ability, Tentacle Slam, damages enemies and allows Alawi to initiate battle with a tentacle already active. As a priestess of Nagakaburos, Alawi can both smite her enemies and restore her allies. Alawi's faith in her goddess is unshakable as her fights. As she fights, she summons tentacles to attack her enemies and enhance her abilities. Using Taunt, Alawi can force her enemies to face her head-on rather than attacking her allies. Don't think I've ever smelled anything worse than them slaughter docks. Thought I'd have myself a grand adventure. First stop, Bilgewater, of course. What do you say? Oh, there's more. Only thing worse than said salt. No wonder all these mad folk turned to monster hunting. Now I'm stuck here. Yeah, that happens to a lot of people. Then he said, only thing worse than sand is salt. It gets everywhere and it stings when it does. No wonder all these mad folk turn to monster hunting.
Heilangi stink. Why must my people be so stubborn?
A bard. Everyone always says they want a bard in like MMOs. Ugh, I think I had too much Myron's Dark Rum last night. Noxus wine is decent, but it's got nothing on Bilgewater brews. I heard Misfortune drinks blood. That's how her hair is that red. Jeez. I've seen creatures from the deep larger than a ship. Only thing that scared me was Gangplank. Things were bad under Gangplank's rule. But it's really any better under with Misfortune? Yeah, it kind of is. Do you think Fortune's hiring? I'd love to be a soldier of Fortune. Rich captains live up high, but they dock down here at the waterline with the rest of us. That's a nice way to think about it.
Little man, tell me, where can I find the Blood Harbor Ripper?
Who's asking?
I am Ilawi, truth-bearer of Nagakaboros, champion of the Buru people.
Sure, lady. And I'm the River King, Tom Kench. Buzz off. I'm trying to relax.
Perhaps a display of strength will change your mind.
Sorry. I try not to get into fights with strange women in bars.
So, you're unworthy. Or just afraid.
You see this sword? I've run it through hundreds of men. Most bigger than you. So how about you go on home?
Eesh.
I thought you would be stronger. They must be tested to grow.
Okay, so I think I always did this first. Reduce all damage taken by 40% plus 5% botanical until the next turn. And then, because you can do this, I think follow it up with like an ability, because it's instant. Right? Oh, I guess not. Or I think I did it at the end. That's what it was. Something like that.
End of the line.
Or maybe it's like I earned that ability later. It was really important to her playstyle.
Just like this.
There we go. Now we got some freaking tentacles. Took long enough. Hey yo, what up, Luffy?
Not so tough now.
Alright, I should be able to cause all tentacles to strike the target, dealing double damage. Yeah, we can do that. Where is this guy though? He is this one. So I don't think we'll get to be able to do it before he hits us is the problem. So we're probably better off, honestly, just doing like an instant ability and killing this guy.
For the goddess! A fine hit!
I wonder if this is where they got inspiration for the 2x KO stage.
We must only act.
The Brazen Hydra. Man, I went nuts when they called it the Brazen Hydra. I don't think this is the Brazen Hydra, is it? Where I got the name from for the podcast was from a short. It was like I think it's Gangplank's Color Story, where it reads the Brazen Hydra. It's the only pub ever in the lore. But this isn't the Brazen Hydra, I don't think.
Is that all you have? I was just starting to enjoy myself. The Blood Harbor Ripper. Tell me.
No one I know has actually seen him. Rumor is he stalks the alleys around the Warrens. They say he ain't alive. Not really.
Not alive?
He is skinned like a corpse. Cold. And his eyes are empty. Like a body pulled up from the sea.
Probably very pruny.
A creature trapped between life and death. An affront to the goddess.
He, has a thing for captains. Find a captain and the Ripper won't be far behind, they say.
Thank you, little man.
Hey, you, want to stay a while? I never drank with a priestess before.
You break too easily.
Find a ship captain. Welcome to the humble status, our humble establishment. I tell you to make yourself at home, but that's liable to do you more harm than good. What is this place? What's it look like? This here's the captain's bar, straight from port. Men come and sit here while they lose their sea legs. It's called the captain's bar, so this is not the Brazen Hydra. Hey, our rates here aren't for the meager, so the riffraff won't be gracing us with their presence. Helps draw a more established crowd. Have you heard of the Ripper? Who hasn't? Has a taste for seafaring captains near as anyone can tell. You'll find the remains spilling into the sea after he's done a fair night's work. I think myself safe being a bartender and all, though nary anyone can predict what a wild dog would do backed up against the corner. You know what I'm gonna do today? I think I might add like some like stuff that you guys can spend bits on for the stream. I think that's my goal for today. When Gangplank died, I burned my Jagged Hook's gear. I know which way the wind's blowing. Well, that's pretty smart. It's the only guy we haven't talked to yet. Saw the title Trickster last night. I did. Scared me half to death with his little trident and flapping feet. So he's talking about Fizz, who's a Yordle. Fizz's story is actually really sad. I go through his story on my What is a Yordle video. Yeah, Fizz's lore is actually a sad one. Maybe that's why he's always playing tricks. Yeah, I didn't think I can go back here. Alright, we need to find a captain, because captains are hunted by Pike, the Blood Harbor Ripper. And keep in mind, right, Alawi's hunting Pike because she thinks he's an affront to the goddess because he's between life and death.
We heard commotion.
My new Peilangi friends simply wish to learn Buhu tradition. Let us search the Warrens nearby.
Now we got a little squad here. This map I always felt like took a while. So we want to go to search the Warrens for the Blood Harbor Ripper. The Warrens is this way. But where is the... What am I missing? Where's the, like... Where's the, maybe it's here? Oh wait, I saw it. Oh, there we go. Okay. Journal and bestiary. No, I don't need that. There's the Wild Gunner. But there should be more than that. Man, look at it. He even has like his own art image here and everything. Like, Captain Thorn is such a cool model for someone that just died instantly. A scheming Bilgewater lowlife and current captain of the Syndicate. I would love to be able to get these models into Riot Grove. You know how no one dies in no one ever dies in League of Legends. I would love to see it that Captain Voran barely survived Misfortune's attack, and then right after that we have the Harrowing, so maybe he becomes a spectral ghost and ends up in the Shadow Isles, and then we'll see him in the Riot mode, because no one ever dies. This is just a wild gunner. A Bilgewater seafarer stuck on land with a chip on his shoulder. This is a back alley cold cut purse, a bloodthirsty bandit who stalks the streets looking for coin and easy marks. Mistwalker sailor. Once a boisterous Grey Harbor sailor, now a menacing fiend corrupted by the black mist. Has a mist bomb ready to explode when she is defeated. Use a speed lane attack to disarm it. Sorrowful Wisp. A mournful spirit corrupted by the black mist. When slain, it will transfer power to an ally, increasing their attack. Okay, and then this one. A spectral wharf rat. A savage wharf rat that has been corrupted by the black mist. Wharf rat can be corrupted by a black mist. You better believe a sea monster can be corrupted by the black mist. Its image phases in and out of sight, making it difficult to hit. Strike it with speed lane attack to keep it from phasing. So I really truly believe that when Bilgewater is having a harrowing event, this black mist has to cross the ocean to get there. I don't think the mist cares like for water, right? At the end of the day, the mist was originally designed to keep people out of the Blessed Isles. And I don't think that they just stopped boats on the surface. I'm sure that, imagine you could just swim under it, right? So I think that the mist went all the way down to the ground. It's a magical mist. It's not like actual mist where the water's going to affect it. So when this harrowing crosses into Bilgewater, I think the sea monsters are dealing with the same thing. That's really important for my theory. And I don't think we got any journal entries yet. Yeah, but we got to get them all. There's one treasure here and one piece of lore here, and you can see that book in the top left, so we need to grab that. And we'll grab that treasure real quick. Right up here. I know hunting is dangerous, but I thought that it was just a sea. Crane snapped and nearly crushed me. There's that chest. Even in death, these creatures' motion continues. It will feed many. I guess, yeah, maybe that's how Nagakaburo sees it, is that, sure, you know, the humans are killing the sea monsters, but the humans kill each other too. And that's all a part of the motion. And that's why Nagakaburos isn't on the sea monsters' side when it comes to the fight with the humans and killing them like Pike is. Maybe even Pike is a part of the natural motion, right? That makes sense. Okay, the Visionary, 1 of 5. Diary, I finally made it to Bilgewater. I could cry with joy. The heavy stink of death on the tide confirms my dearest dreams. The Shadow Isles lie just over the horizon. After decades of questing, the perfect vista approaches. Since childhood, I've longed to set my brush to paint the rarest scenery in the world. The ruins of the Blessed Isles, wreathed with spirits and specters ripe with revenants. I've traveled sheer across Valoron and crossed the darkest oceans to be here. My talent will be tested on that melancholy rubble. My brush will master those wraiths. The paintings I create will be contemporary masterpieces, rare and more precious than a portrait of any Jarvan. Demacian aristocracy will drool to hang them in their sitting rooms, and twirling my brush, I will walk into the halls of history. So this is a Demacian girl who foolishly believes that she's gonna just walk over to the Shadow Isles and paint it. Silly. Oh, I can go across here. This is the bridge that we started at. We got to make sure we get all those journal entries. Hey, you a bunch of looking men. Gangplank was a bastard. How could a harpoon miss a creature so large? Well, it's probably swimming very fast. Going to the Warrens? Oof. I don't envy you. Alright. When my sea monster theory is confirmed, everyone's going to say, everyone knew that. It was so obvious. But you heard it here first. We got another lore book over here. Oh, we gotta fight. Now we got some people.
I don't scare, I don't tire, and I don't stop.
Cleansing debuffs. Fighters can have special status effects, buffs, positive effects, and debuffs, negative effects applied to them. You can remove debuffs by cleansing. The Buhu allies in your party have a cleanse ability. You can also consume a cleansing potion if available.
I've met plunder crabs tougher than you.
Bleed deals 3 true damage each tick. Cleanse yourself.
Are you even trying?
Alawi is going to be a mainstay. We're going to be using Alawi pretty much, I think, the whole game. This is really powerful. At least later on, she gets really strong. Same with Misfortune. Honestly, you only cycle like the other one. Misfortune and Alawi are too powerful. Ooh. Ooh. Equipment. Okay. So this idol was gifted to Alawi upon first becoming the Kraken Priestess. In this game, it's a tarnished idol of Nagakaburos, although, you know, in the actual lore, it's going to be hers the whole time. Like, you'll never see Alawi with anything else. The idol's extra weight can sometimes stun foes. Weighted brass idol. A ring that keeps warriors feeling fit for battle. I don't think I have anything else. The Visionary, 2 of 3. Diary, passage to the Shadow Isles is proving expensive. Bilgewater sailors do not willingly approach its shores. Treasure hunters traveling to the Isles instead pay for passage to supply stations near the archipelago. They bring their own small skiffs and use those to navigate through the black mist to the Isles themselves. I've been forced to adopt the same process and to pay treasure hunter rates. The ship which brought me to the supply station, the Daring Darling, they call it, cost me more than what I made on my last commission in Demacia. I'm spending a week docked here at the inn teaching myself to sail a small skiff. It's grueling work and nearly too much for my sheltered frame. But at least it's offering me some unusual views. Trying to keep my hopes high, all will go well. That's a terrible attitude to have. That's the attitude to have. That is a terrible attitude to have in my opinion, but that's attitude to have is what she's saying. She should honestly just go back to Demacia. I think what would be cool, I don't remember if you do, but what would be cool is if you find her last note in the Shadow Isles. Oh.
Motion is all.
Oof, close. Wow, I did not expect her to survive that.
Fair.
Oh, so these are, I think, Is this one? Shrine of Healing? Oh, that's not like the usual ones. There's like the little fire pits that you can sit at and have conversations and stuff.
This will be quick.
After interacting with a shrine, you will be granted a boon, which appears in the Spectral Initiative bar region during the next combat encounter. Fighters in your party that are inside the region will receive buffs when it reaches the front of the initiative bar. Boons don't benefit enemies. Okay, so if I do a regular ability, she'll end up in it, which is good. This guy, regular ability, he'll end up in it. And Malawi, perfect. Easy.
The goddess will be proud.
I love the key arts for them. Like this art, the actual art for each of the champions. This is what I'm talking about. These. I think they did such a good job on them. And yet Captain Thorn literally has his own, like really nice looking key art, as does Wrath, but he's kind of a major character. But Captain Thorn had his own one, just dies off so early. Let's go get this chest up there.
I will teach you what I can.
This is it.
Alright, this guy has to heal. Jeez. I think I want to heal him, but I feel like we're gonna be at a oh no, my god, I healed Alawi instead. Jeez. Well, this guy might die. What are you gonna do?
Ah, that's it.
This is destiny.
Alright, well, I think I can put them both on her and then actually heal him. Let's see. If I do that, and then these two jabs, that should kill. There we go. Oh, I unlocked, where is it? Abilities, right? I don't need a tutorial on it, but I got 2 of those upgrade points. I think what I wanted to do was, she has like a really good taunt that we definitely want. And we want this. It's like a taunt. She gets her tentacle barrier. She builds with every hit, and then she kind of just like takes all the damage for the group, and then she can heal. That's what we want. So let's up this first. Tentacles spawn every 2 turns instead of 3. Increase max tentacles from 6 to 5. Both of those are good. But I think we'll do that for now because kind of the combat's pretty quick. And then increase physical damage reduction and increase. I think magic damage was better just because of the bosses. But you'd have to change between those. But we can just go for damage for now, and we'll change it later. Okay, we'll do that for now. What is this? A squatter keeps to themselves. Oh, jeez. Freaking leaped over me.
This will be quick.
Now we got waves. You can see waves up top.
The goddess will be proud.
Nah, she's not gonna make it anyways.
This is...
Okay. You need to heal Alawi. You heal her. And Alawi, you do one of these. You can do a power lane on that guy.
This is it.
Ah, I needed that. Just like this.
Getting dark.
Man, we're getting all this stuff for Alawi. I don't think we got anything from Misfortune. Bilgewater garb. Common clothing good for harsh days on the docks. Increased haste rating by 23. What's this? Smell of rotting wood and bile fills your nose. Oh, I can see literally right there. I guess that's literally shit. Alright, I think we got everything from this place. Bottom right, we got all 3 treasure, the lore. Okay. This is like the seating places that I was telling you about. Right here. It's like a resting location. You fully heal, get your mana back, and then when you have all the champs, you have conversations, which a lot of the lore comes from. Usually they come right before a fight.
Please! Please don't!
So afraid, so alone. But soon, Captain, you'll be crossed off my list. And you won't feel a thing ever again.
What list? I've never seen you before in my life. I'm not even a captain anymore. I haven't sailed in years. Please!
abomination. Face the Kraken priestess if you dare.
Killing you would be fun, but meaningless. No.
Forsaken One, do you think I am offering you a choice?
That's so what just happened is super important, guys. That guy's never even seen Pike before. Pike apparently is going through the ship log of the ship that betrayed him, that left him to the depths. According to his lore, that's what he's doing. Yet this guy has a captain, for one, and has never seen him before in his life. I don't think people are going to forget that. Imagine you had like a guy on your ship that you betrayed who's now seen going around killing all these captains. You'd recognize him. So Pike is definitely killing people beyond just the log on his ship, the people that were a part of his, I think the ship was called the Dredger or something like that. So he's definitely past that. Oof, this guy ulting already? Damn. Okay. Stun immune.
Fight me!
Bleed. Okay, let's heal Alawi a little bit. Get off all of these dots.
Refresh.
Alright. That should kill. Yep. Okay, and I want to talk to you guys about why this happens. Like, because apparently this is, I think she tests Pike right now. Let's see. Does it happen here?
Now face the test of the Mother Serpent.
Yeah.
You will not survive her judgment.
What did you do to me?
This cannot be. You are found worthy, but you are a monster. Goddess, what are you trying to show me? The Shadow Isles. Gangplank. A great test.
Okay, so what's the motivation of Nagakaburos here?
Goddess, help me understand.
Priestess, are you hurt?
How did the drowned one escape us?
The goddess favored him. I do not understand.
But you must. You are the truth better. The Mother Serpent's will flows through you.
Perhaps you need rest.
I need no such thing. Return to the village. I will join you soon.
Okay, so Nagakaburos somehow finds Pike worthy. Now, I've established that I really think Pike is used by the sea monsters, right? Controlled by the sea monsters to wreak havoc on anyone that's associated with the blood business of slaughter ducks, which is killing sea monsters and skinning them alive and harvesting their organs and teeth and everything. Nayakaburos probably first finds Pike worthy because one, that he can help with the Shadow Isles, right, and dealing with Viego, which is a problem for both the sea and the land. And she probably at that point you do see later that she kind of helped.
Truth.
What am I doing on my knees like that?
Elder, I seek guidance.
Speak, child.
There we go.
Tell me what troubles you.
I sought to purge Bilgewater of a great threat. An enemy whose shadow spreads fear and stagnation in the streets.
Yes, such is your charge. And you do it well.
But this Blood Harbor Ripper, I tested him, and the goddess found him worthy.
Curious indeed.
It makes no sense. He is no living man, and the unliving are shameful to our goddess. How could he possibly pass her test? I have worked so hard to interpret her will, but this seems wrong. I should not doubt the goddess. But now I worry I have lost my way.
My child, the Mother Serpent's will flows through all things. Only when we follow our desire does the universe flow towards destiny. Open yourself up to all possibilities and let the path present itself.
But have I misjudged her will? If this monster is worthy, have I been wrong about others? If I gave the goddess's blessing to those who did not deserve it, that would be blasphemy. Perhaps I should renounce my position as truth-bearer.
Ilawi, I will not entertain such nonsense. I have taught you the ways of Nagakaburo since you were a child. You are strong, and the goddess's will flows through you. Trust your judgment.
But what if I'm wrong? The vision I saw, the black mist consuming everything. Something terrible is coming, and I cannot afford uncertainty. The goddess sent me a vision, but I still need more. I need her guidance.
Only the goddess knows what destiny awaits. It is not my place to instruct you. You must find your own path.
The stakes for Bilgewater are too high. I need to be certain in my course of action, yet I have so many questions.
Then ask them. It is in seeking these answers that you alone find truth, where others cannot. But you must also find patience. Truth bearer.
Elder, Yes. Patience. I will reflect on what has passed, and hope a path presents itself.
Priestess! Hurry! There's something you must see.
Okay, I really want to talk to you guys about Nayakaburos and why she found Pike worthy, but I don't know if there's another cutscene coming up. But Nayakaburos, one, found Pike worthy because, first of all, the sea monsters are going to use him anyways to battle against the Viego and the Shadow Isles, which Nayakaburos doesn't like either because they're an abomination regardless. But two, I think that Nayakaburos learned later that she kind of freed his mind a little bit from the sea monster's grasp, which we know that Nayakaburos values freedom, free will and motion, and that was probably violating that. Braum.
That is quite a man.
This is Ilawi. She's our champion, our truth bearer.
It is an honor to meet you. I am Brom of the Freljord.
The Freljord? You've traveled far. My men say they pulled you from the water.
They showed me great kindness.
Walk with me. I am curious to hear more of your story.
So, now what? You know now what? You take it to the slaughter dock, string it up, skin it.
A great sickness has come to the Freljord. It has claimed the lives of many children.
Brom, it's really you.
Yes. And look, I have brought a friend. Now, be brave and take good care of him until I return, huh?
I will.
Rest now. Brom will find a cure for this. You have my word.
Brom, you promised the impossible. Your heart is pure, but the sickness is spreading.
For Brom, nothing is impossible. The Freljord is my home. These people are my family. Tell me, what must I do?
When I was a boy, my father spoke of a place called the Blessed Isles. There, they possessed water, which was said to cure any illness. But Brom, that place was destroyed by the Black Mist. Shadow Isles, they call it now. Dangerous, even for you. Who knows if that water even exists? Sometimes a story is just a story.
Brom will return with this blessed water. Then, think of the stories they will tell, huh?
Brom literally just goes straight to the Shadow Isles. The ram door.
You fought the Black Mist. Are you sure?
Yes, and I will happily do so again. Once I find a bigger boat. In the battle with the Mist, my shield was lost. It is very valuable to me. I will do whatever I must to recover it.
Alawi, we come with a message from Captain Fortune. We ain't looking for a fight.
Well, what is the message?
She requests an audience. She says... Well, she says the Black Mist has returned.
What?
The Black Mist. It has returned.
Thank you, Bram.
She'll be expecting you. Come with us.
I know the way.
My friend, it seems fate has brought us together.
This is not your fight. As Truthbearer, it is my sworn duty to push back the Mist. Yet, your arrival here is no coincidence. This much I know. Perhaps it is the sign I was looking for.
By helping you face the Mist, I may learn more of the cure I seek, and repay your people's kindness.
Your desire is strong. I will not stop you. Let us see what Sarah Fortune knows.
Yeah, so tomorrow at the beginning of the stream, we'll talk through Brom's lore and what he like. His lore prior to this. His shield is actually hilarious. A lot of people, the story that led Ornn, because actually Ornn is the one who creates Brom's shield, which is a door. Funny enough, actually a door that Ornn made. Ornn is this guy, Ram God from the Freljord. Freljord's all the way up here. That's where Brom is from. Brom sailed all the way down here in that boat to the Shadow Isles to battle against the Black Mist. So, Freljord all the way up here. Brom sails freaking in that little skiff down here all the way to the Shadow Isles to fight. And his door was created by this guy who's a spirit god, like Knight Kaburos, but in the Freljord. He's the ram god of like craftsmanship and forging. And the story where he makes the door involves this troll. It's one of the best stories in Runeterra, at least in my. I love that one because it's just so funny to see like how Ornn behaves and interacts with people. Ornn's a funny one. So we'll go through that lore and Brahm's lore as well. But Brahm has joined the party. His like defense, disruption, and buffs is his role. Blessed with massive biceps and an even bigger heart, Brahm is a beloved iceborn hero of the Freljord. Brahm uses his massive shield to protect his allies and stop any who would try to harm them. In his icy homeland, sagas are sung of Brahm's deeds, but in Bilgewater, he is just another traveler, seeking a way to cure his people of the disease that plagues them. And so we'll go over like the stories that are told of Brahm too. Brahm carries a Poro, a friend with him that can explore small crevices and bring back items it finds. His dungeon ability Shield Stomp damages and applies concussion to enemies starting combat, and Shield Stomp is even stronger enough to break down some walls. Strong and tough, Brahm is adept at shrugging off enemy blows. While Brahm is casting, he takes reduced damage. By using Unbreakable, Brahm can draw enemy attention away from his friends and towards his powerful shield. Brahm's Concussive Blow ability applies concussion on enemies. When enemies with concussion take damage, they build more stacks of concussion. If they reach max stacks, they take damage and are stunned. Brahm's pretty strong. I never really use him too much though. Let's see. There's a lot of stuff that we missed back there. It's like treasure 0 ? Then we didn't do any of the fishing yet either. But this is, I think, we're going to end the stream, and tomorrow we'll start the stream talking through Brahm's lore and what Brahm brings to the table, including his shield. We'll talk a little bit about Ornn, and then we'll get into the rest of the game. And then I think we'll probably do Brahm, and I think the next character we meet after Brahm is it Pike? Yeah. Let me see. Or no, actually, it's Ari and Yasuo first. So we'll probably do Brahm, Ari, and Yasuo and the next stream. So starting that one, because Ari and Yasuo come into play. Guys, this was fun. We're definitely going to keep doing it. The Rune Saga, the Forged Saga. Hey, what up, MFBB? I'm going to try to extend the stream if I can. I feel like 2 hours is too short for a playthrough. We're getting into the juicy stuff, and I wish I had like a whole nother hour. The problem is I've got, full-time job. So I start work at 9. I work remote. That's why I'm able to stream up till 9. So I'd love to be able to maybe extend an hour earlier, but I don't know if that even helps. Like I would basically go from, what is it? Maybe instead of, I start at 7 and I go till 9, I can try to go from 6 a.m. till 9 and make it like a 3-hour stream. At least until the Riot MMO comes out, and then it's got to be a 4-hour stream, and I've got to quit my job. So make sure to follow and subscribe, guys, before the Riot MMO comes out. You've got time. You've got time. But, before then, you've got to grow the channel. And hey, MFBB, I wish you came in a little bit earlier, but I am going to end the stream right now because I got to go to my meeting. Keep in mind, guys, you can find all of the articles that I discuss on riotgrove.com/EntGrove. We talked about the pregame lore for Misfortune and Alawi. You can view some of the other articles, and of course there's videos for all of those on my YouTube channel at EntGrove. So you can find all the videos for previous discussions and lore talks as well there. And I will see you guys Monday for the next stream. Thanks everyone for joining. Luffy, Dorizo, Jan, Aze. I'm definitely going to look into the choppiness of the mic at the beginning. Hopefully that's not happening anymore, but I'll rewatch the stream and see. I thought changing it to 48 kHz worked, but we'll have to see when I get back to it. Alright guys, thanks, and I will see you in the next one.
you